Hello, welcome to TechWeb Dots. Today I am going to discuss what is abstract factory design pattern, and this is a very powerful and very important design pattern. So let's move ahead to check the agenda and what points that we are going to cover. So what is abstract factory and why abstract factory is important to understand after simple factory and factory method, and we will also cover the use cases of abstract factory design pattern, including its advantages and code coverage also. Okay, and basic understanding of object-oriented programming will be very helpful to understand abstract factory design pattern, and I strongly suggest you to watch the previous two sessions which was on simple factory design pattern and factory method, because these two are the prior requirement to correctly understand the abstract factory design pattern. Okay, so let's move ahead to check. So we have already covered the grayed out area, the simple factory and the factory method one. So we will focus on abstract factory. Okay, and the important point is these three patterns are related. The factory method and abstract factory design pattern falls into the Gang of Four design catalog under creation patterns. So that's why we started with simple factory, and now we come to the end of the factory patterns, which is abstract factory design pattern. So let's move ahead without wasting time. So according to the definition, we provide an interface for creating families of related or dependent objects without specifying their concrete classes. I will repeat once again. We provide an interface for creating families of related or dependent objects without specifying their concrete classes. This is very important point. Okay, and all these points that I'm going to share, these are very important. I know these are theoretical, but these are very important. So overall concept is the abstract factory is also called a factory of factories, and in this pattern you provide a way to encapsulate a group of individual factories that have a common theme. You do not mention or specify their concrete classes. When we say encapsulation, so it means we are combining the factories and utilizing it without showing the actual implementation. Okay, and if I take example, ADO.NET has already implemented similar concepts to establish a connection to a database. For example, DB provider factory class provides a static, or you can say shared in Visual Basic method for creating a DB provider factory instance. And in the factory method pattern, why I am discussing factory method? Because that is completely related with abstract factory. So in factory method pattern, you have two factories. One is creating dog and another one is for creating tigers. Now you must be thinking from where these dogs and tigers are coming. So I strongly recommend you to watch the previous session. I will give you more detail throughout the session from where these are coming, but for the timing, let's try to understand. In factory method pattern, you had two factories. One is for creating dogs and another one is for creating tigers. But now suppose you want to categorize dogs and tigers further. Okay, now we need further classification. So you choose to get a pet animal, dog or tiger, or a wild animal, dog or tiger through the factories. So if this is a business case, what you need to do? So to fulfill that demand, you introduce two concrete factories, and that will be wild animal factory and pet animal factory. And as the name is suggesting, wild animal factory is responsible for creating wild animals and pet animal factory is responsible for creating pet animals. So this is a creation design pattern because it defines the base template for factories that create objects, and which is a category of design pattern to grouping similar objects. Okay, when we say wild animals, so we are covering all the wild animals, okay, including dog and tiger as well, and without needing to specify their concrete classes. And we will see all these points in the implementation just after few seconds. So creation design pattern deal with how objects are created and creates instances of families of related classes. The instances then return a correct, strongly typed object based on provider information supplied at runtime. So I hope these points are clear. Let's move next. Now, if I recall from the simple factory design pattern example, if I take the example from simple factory design pattern, earlier we had one iSimpleFactory abstract class, and there was one implementation of simple factory. In that we were creating animal, and there was a client, and there was an iAnimal interface that contains two methods, action and speak, and two animals was successfully implementing those methods, which are tiger and dog. Okay, but when we discussed the factory method, so how that implementation transformed into factory method, so now instead of simple factory we were using iAnimal factory. Okay, so that contains two concrete factories, which are dog factory and tiger factory. Okay, so from here those concepts are coming. Now you can see iAnimal hierarchy is still the same. We are using dog and tiger classes, and those are implementing iAnimal. Okay, you can see we implemented two hierarchies parallel in factory method, and we also discussed the O of solid using factory method. So I strongly recommend you to watch that factory method design pattern, and the link is given in the description of this video. So let's move ahead for the abstract factory design pattern. So what we are doing here, as you can see, now the implementation is changed a bit. This program class is my main class from where we are going to instantiate what we want actually. From this program class we are interacting with this iAnimal factory. Okay, and through this iAnimal factory it is further categorized into two animal factories. One is wild animal factory and one is pet animal factory, which is a solution of the current problem. So according to the requirement, main class can request for the required object, and again we can say our iAnimal factory is our main factory. Okay, and these wild animal factory and pet animal factory are the concrete factories. Okay, and in the same way iTiger is our abstract product. I hope this class diagram is clear to you, and if it is not clear at this moment, now it's show time. Let's switch to Visual Studio. This is my Visual Studio, and this is the same solution that I was using in my last two sessions of simple factory and factory method. So to save your time, I have already implemented the important piece of code which is required to understand abstract factory pattern. This is ASP.NET Core web application. So let me go through you the important points which is required to implement abstract factory pattern. So that what we have seen, there is an animal factory, okay, that contains two methods, one return eye of dog and another return eye of tiger. Okay, so and as we said earlier, this is our main factory, and there are two more concrete factories. One is pet animal factory that can return only pet animal. So you can see we are returning pet dog and pet tiger. So when we say pet dog and pet tiger, so it means we also have pet dog and pet tiger classes. So if we go there, here is our pet dog. In that we are implementing iDog and implementing these speak and action methods. Okay, and here we are simply displaying this message, pet dog says this and pet dog prefers to stay home. Okay, and pet tiger also here that says pet tiger says this and pet tiger plays in an animal circus. In the same way we have wild animal factory, and here we have two methods implementation of iAnimal factory. It contains wild dog and wild tiger, and similarly we have wild dog where we are just printing message wild dog says this and wild dogs prefer roam freely in jungles. Okay, and in the same way let me tiger, so here's the wild tiger as well, so we are displaying the message accordingly. So these are the important concrete factories, and here is our abstract product. In that we also have two methods, speak and action. Abstract product is iDog and another abstract product is iTiger that we have just covered in our presentation. Okay, so let me tell you how we are going to call all these things together. So this is my startup file. So what we have created so far, as you can see, so for this demo I am just using the tiger for the wild animal and dog for the pet animal. I am creating a iAnimal factory variable, and in that I am assigning wild animal factory instance. Okay, so wild animal factory instance implementing iAnimal factory, so definitely we can easily create an object. Okay, the second point is I am creating iTiger variable, and in that I am assigning wild factory dot get tiger. So this is our where is our wild factory? This is our wild animal factory, and what we are using? We are using get tiger, so we will get the wild tiger. Okay, and now we are calling the actions speak and action method. In the same way, this time I am using the animal factory and calling the pet animal factory. From pet animal factory I am creating a dog instance and calling these two methods. Okay, so let's have a look all these points in action. Let me run the solution. Beautiful. So result is coming as expected. We call two factories, wild animal factory for creating tiger. So now we have two related method response, what tiger says and what tiger prefers, and we also created pet animal factory from where we got the dog and pet says this and pet dog prefers to stay at home. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. I tried to make this pattern as simple as possible so that you can easily understand. I don't want to make it more complex, so that you can easily implement after watching what changes are required to implement abstract factory. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. So, and let me tell you how you can use this repository to understand the factory design pattern. So to use this repository, so once you take the code, you can uncomment this piece of code and comment rest of the code. Okay, and I mentioned here what reference you need to include to run this piece of code. This is simple factory one and this is the abstract factory one. You need to include these two references. Okay, and uncomment this piece of code and comment the rest of the code. And this is the third implementation of abstract factory, and for this you only need to include the reference of abstract factory folder. And you can see what I am trying to say. I have just commented these two references and I am using only abstract factory pattern folder and its references. Okay, don't worry about the piece of code. The GitHub link is given in the description of this video. Okay, so now again I will give you more detail about the implementation. The programming model for writing provider independent code is based on the use of factory. Okay, I am repeating once again, the programming model for writing provider independent code is based on the use of factories design pattern, which uses a single API to access across multiple providers. When I say single API, it means there is a single point from where we are getting all the required objects which are related behind the scene. For reference, the participants and their roles are summarized here. The iAnimal factory that we have just seen, that is called Egg factory, and the two further factories which was wild factory and the pet animal factory are called the concrete factories. And when we say iTiger and iDog, so those are the abstract product in that case, and pet tiger and pet dog, wild tiger and wild dog, these are the concrete products. Now we have seen the implementation successfully, so just for the recall purpose, let me show you what we have done, just quickly cover. So we create interface iDog which contains two methods, and we implemented that iDog with pet dog and wild dog as well. And just take example of iAnimal factory, we implemented that factory with pet animal factory and wild animal factory with both, and that factory can return two types of, either it will be a pet dog or it will be a pet tiger. Okay, and at the bottom you can see what we called iAnimal factory, and we are also creating a pet animal factory instance which is assigning into pet animal factory, and from there we are calling pet animal factory dot get dog. It means we need a pet dog and we are assigning that into iDog variable. Okay, and then we are calling pet dog dot speak and pet dog dot action. So we are calling these two methods only. So I hope it is clear now. So let's move ahead. Now we are at the end of abstract factory design pattern. So let me conclude all the patterns. In short, with simple factory pattern, you can separate the code that will vary from rest of the code. Okay, and this approach helps you to manage the code more easily, that we discussed in detail in our simple factory design pattern. And another key advantage of this approach is that client is completely unaware of how the objects are created, so it promotes both security and full abstraction. Okay, and if I talk about more detail about this, however, this approach can violate the open close principle, which was completely fulfilled by factory method pattern, which allows subclasses to decide how the instantiation process will be completed. Put simply, you delegate the object creation to the subclasses that implement the factory method to create objects. So that's the beauty of factory method. And abstract factory is basically a factory of factories that we have already listened, and it creates the family of related objects, but it does not depend on the concrete classes that we have seen in the practical part. Okay, and lastly, a factory method promotes inheritance, and its subclasses need to implement the factory method to create objects. So these factories promote loose coupling by reducing the dependency on concrete classes. Also allow the application to be more portable and extensible, okay, and allow new drive types to be added without changing any core or shared properties or method. So that's the beauty of implementing abstract factory design pattern. Now you must be thinking you still have few questions, so I covered two of them that can solve your few of queries. So the question is, I am seeing both the iDog and iTiger interface are containing methods that have same name. For example, both interface contains the methods speak and action. Is that mandatory? So the answer is no. You can use different names for your methods. Also, the number of methods can be different in these interfaces. Actually, I am using the same example, which is why I have kept the methods speak and action in this example, because I use the same in my simple factory and factory method. And another question is, what are the challenges of using an abstract factory like this? So I will say, any change in the abstract factory will force you to propagate the modification to concrete factories. If you follow the design philosophy that says program to interface, not to an implementation, it means our focus completely on interfaces, not the actual implementation. If your interface is right, then everything gonna be all right. So you need to be prepared for this. This is one of the key principles that developers should always keep in mind. In most scenarios, developers do not want to change their abstract factories. In addition, the overall architecture may look complex. Also, debugging becomes tricky in some factories. So I hope you like this video. That's the end of the session, and in the next session we will discuss what is singleton design pattern. If you have any question, any suggestion, please mention in the comment box. I will reply on that as soon as possible, and your feedback is important. That's the only inspiration for me to create such videos. So don't forget to provide your feedback, hit on the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.